I'm 77 years old, and I need to tell y'all something that most women ain't never gonna admit out loud. Something I've been carrying for 3 years now. Something that still wake me up in the middle of the night, staring at that ceiling, wishing I could take it all back. I was the one who destroyed my marriage, not my husband. Me, I did that. My husband, James, and we was married 48 years, raised 3 babies together, built a whole life from nothing. Went from a little 1-bedroom apartment in Detroit to owning our home free and clear. And for most of them years, I told myself we had a good marriage, solid, stable, the kind that lasts. But here's what nobody tell you about long marriages. You can stay married for decades and still be alone. You can share a house with somebody and never really let them in. James died 3 years ago, stroke. He was just sitting in his chair watching the evening news, and by the time them paramedics got there, he was gone. But about a week before it happened, he said something to me. We was sitting out on the porch after dinner, and out of nowhere, he just looked at me and said, "Dorothy, I'm still here. Been here the whole time. I just wish you let me back in." You know what I did? I got up and went inside. Told him I had dishes to do. Left that man sitting out there by himself. A week later, he was dead. And them words, "I just wish you let me back in," I think about him every single day. 'Cause he was right. He'd been trying to get back in for years. And I wouldn't open the door. Now look, I need y'all to understand something. In them early years, James wasn't perfect. No man is. He worked 60-hour weeks at that plant, missed school plays, forgot anniversaries. There was times I felt like I was raising them kids by myself, running that household by myself, carrying everything while he just showed up to sleep. And I had every right to be hurt. I ain't saying I didn't, but here's what I did with that hurt. Instead of telling him about it, instead of fighting for us, instead of making him see me, I did something worse. I shut down, quietly, little by little. So slow, James ain't even notice at first. I built walls around my heart brick by brick till he couldn't reach me no more. Not 'cause he stopped trying, but 'cause I wouldn't let him in. I started keeping score. Every disappointment, every time he let me down, every time he picked work over me, I filed all that away and I used it to justify being cold. He ain't noticed my new dress? Fine. I ain't gonna compliment him either. He forgot to call when he was working late? Fine. I ain't gonna ask about his day. He fell asleep during that movie I wanted to watch? Fine. I ain't reaching for his hand no more. Little punishments, small withdrawals. I told myself I was protecting myself, that I was just being strong, that if he really loved me, he'd break through them walls. He'd prove he deserved my warmth. But that ain't how love works. That ain't how none of this worked. And I was about to learn that the hard way. Here's what nobody tell you. While you busy keeping score, while you busy punishing somebody for who they was 10 years ago, they changing, they growing, becoming somebody different. When James retired, something shifted in him. Kids was grown, the pressure was off, and all of a sudden he was present in a way he ain't never been before. He'd wake up early just to make me coffee. He'd say, "Let's take a walk after dinner." He'd ask about my day and actually sit there and listen. He'd try to hold my hand while we was watching TV. And you know what I did? I rejected that man every single time. I'd take the coffee and ain't even say thank you. I'd say I was too tired for walks, give him one-word answers, pull my hand away like I needed to fix the blanket or something. I told myself it was too little, too late, that I waited decades for this version of him, and now I ain't want it no more. But that was a lie. The truth was uglier than that. I had gotten comfortable being disappointed. Resentment had become who I was, being the strong black woman who ain't need nothing from nobody. That was my whole identity. And letting James in would mean admitting I'd wasted years being cold for no good reason. So I kept him out for 10 more years. 10 years of him reaching and me pulling away. 10 years I can't never get back. I need to tell y'all something I ain't never told nobody. Not my kids, not my sister, not my pastor. About 2 years before James passed, he planned a trip for us to Ghana, West Africa. See, James had got real into researching our family history after he retired, spent hours on the ancestry websites, did the DNA tests and everything, and he traced his people back to the Ashanti region, 4 generations back, before the ships, before everything got taken from us. It became his dream to go there, walk where his ancestors walked, see Cape Coast Castle, do that door of no return ceremony, and come back through, complete the circle, he said. He talked about it for years, and finally, he booked it. 2 weeks in Ghana, flights, hotels, tours, everything planned out. He was so excited when he showed me that itinerary. His hands was shaking, and I said no. I said it was too far, too expensive. Said I ain't want to be on no plane that long. Said Africa wasn't safe. All excuses, every last one of them. The truth, I was scared that if I went with him, if I let myself share something that deep, I'd have to feel something. I'd have to be close to him. I'd have to admit I still love that man and had been running from it for years. So I let him go by himself. My husband flew halfway around the world to walk through the same door his ancestors got dragged through in chains. And he did it alone. He sent me pictures, the beaches, the markets, the castle. One picture of him standing at that door of no return, tears just streaming down his face. I ain't even respond to that one. When he came home, he was different, quieter. Something behind his eyes had just gave up. And I told myself he was just tired from the trip, that we'd talk about it later, that we had time. 18 months later, he was dead. After the funeral, I found a journal in his nightstand. Now, James wasn't never a writer. In 41 years, I ain't never seen that man write more than a grocery list. But there it was, a leather journal, half filled with his handwriting. He started it in Ghana, sitting alone in that hotel room in Accra, looking out at a city he dreamed of seeing with his wife. I can't read y'all all of it. Even now, 3 years later, I can barely get through it without breaking down. But there was one part, one paragraph that I think about every single day that wakes me up at 3 in the morning. He wrote, I spent 10 years trying to find my way back to Dorothy. I don't know when I lost her, don't know what I did, but I know she gone. She right there in our house, but she been gone for years, and I don't know how to reach her no more. I'm tired. Lord, I'm so tired of knocking on a door that won't open. He thought it was his fault. My husband spent the last 10 years of his life thinking he did something wrong, trying to fix a problem that ain't exist, trying to earn back a love I ain't never lost. I just stopped showing it. And I let him believe that through my silence, through my walls, through me refusing to let him in. I let the man I loved die thinking he wasn't enough. Here's what I need y'all to understand. There's two ways to destroy a marriage. The first way is loud, affairs, abuse, walking out, the stuff everybody can see, the stuff you can point to and say, that's why it ended. The second way is quiet, withdrawal, being cold, slowly taking away your warmth till the person you love is just standing out in the cold, knocking on a door you won't open. The second way is worse, because nobody see it, because you can deny it, because you can do it while you still technically being faithful, still technically being there, still technically showing up. I was there every day for 41 years. Same house, same table, same bed. But I was gone. And I made James feel like he was married to a ghost. If you watching this right now and you see yourself, if you the one keeping score, if you the one with the walls up, if you the one who stopped being soft because you got hurt and you swore you wasn't going to let that happen again, I need you to hear me. Your partner can't climb walls you won't lower. They can't read a mind you done closed off. They can't fill a cup you keep pulling away. And one day, whether it's death or divorce or them just giving up, they're gonna be gone. And you're gonna be sitting there alone with nothing but them walls you built to keep you company. I know, because that's where I'm at right now. There's a picture on James's side of the bed. I ain't moved it in 3 years. It's from our wedding day, June 1984. He grinning so big, looking at me like I'm the only woman in the world. So young, so full of hope, so in love with a woman who was gonna spend the next 40 years, slowly pushing him away. I look at that picture every night and I think about everything I should have done different. I should have forgave him for not being perfect in them early years. Lord knows I wasn't perfect neither. I should have talked to him instead of shutting down, told him what I needed instead of punishing him for not guessing. I should have let him in during them last years when he was trying so hard. Should have let myself feel something, risked getting hurt for the chance to be close. I should have went to Ghana. I should have stood next to my husband at that door and held his hand while he cried. Should have been there when he needed me most. Should have let that trip bring us back together instead of being too proud, too scared, too stubborn to go. Here's what I want you to do today, right now. If you love somebody, tell them, not when they earned it, not when you feel like it, now. If you build walls, start taking them down, one brick at a time. I know it's scary, do it anyway. If you keeping score, burn that scorecard. Light a match and let it go. All it's doing is keeping you alone. If your partner is trying, if they reaching for you, making effort, showing up different than they used to, let them. Don't punish them for who they was 10 years ago. Don't make them earn what should be given free. Because here's what nobody tell you about time. You think you got more of it than you do. You think there's always tomorrow, another chance, another moment to make it right. There ain't. James and I had 41 years, and I wasted at least 15 of them behind walls, protecting myself from a man who only ever wanted to love me. Now I got all the time in the world, and nothing to do with it but regret. I ain't telling y'all this for sympathy. I don't deserve it. James do. I'm telling you this because you still got time. Your person's still here. You can still lower them walls. You can still reach back when they reach for you. 3 years ago, I would have gave anything for one more day with James, not to apologize. Apologies, just words. To show him, to be soft when I've been hard, to take his hand when I pulled away, to say yes, yes to Ghana, yes to the walk, yes to being close instead of being right. I ain't get that day. You still might. Don't waste it like I wasted mine. This channel got people like me sharing the lessons we learned too late. So you ain't got to learn them the hard way. If this meant something to you, go ahead and subscribe. Turn on them notifications. Leave a comment. Share this with somebody who need to hear it. And if you got a story of your own, something you learned that might help somebody else, there's a form down in the description. Fill it out. Maybe next time we'll be sharing your story.